This is a roll-off truck, but it's not a basic roll-off truck. The way it's assembled and the added features that are put in during assembly make this a totally different animal. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey everyone, I am Josh with Premier Truck Sales and Rental, and today we're going to look at this Galfab bed installation here. Now, there are three things with this that make this kind of special. It's a Kenworth T880 and it's a Galfab bed. Kenworth T880 is known as a top-of-the-line product built for return on investment through reliability. Galfab does the same thing with their beds, known as one of the premier designers and manufacturers of refuse and waste equipment handling. Where's the third component? The third component is where you can experience the premier difference. That is in the installation. So in this, we're going to show some of the bed, we're going to show some of the installation, we're also going to talk about this cover for the top of it too. Let's dive in. So what we have here is we have the NOR HD 75,000 pound hoist. This is heavy duty. This is ideal for work in such like oil fields or scrap yards or anything else where you know that this is going to see a fair bit of weight on it, because really you didn't buy something to haul around a couple of pieces of metal, right? You bought something to haul those heavy loads. So how did we get to that 75,000 pound capacity? Well, this 1/2-inch glide plate for the bin rollers, that's part of it. The other part is we have a 10-inch tall, 1/2-inch thick beam that's boxed. That's another way we got there. On top of that, in order to save wear and tear and to increase longevity, there's 4 rollers down each side instead of the standard 3. It's just that one step up that makes all the world of difference. Once again, the more time out on the road from the less time in the shop. In addition, there's 2 tie downs on each side as opposed to 1 on each side. This allows you to carry taller loads, different loads, whatever you need to do. It's that versatility, and when it's something as simple as a tie down, that can change the whole game for you. Some of the added items on this for convenience and for speed are controls that are mounted both outside with a duplicate set inside. Sometimes you need to be inside to control the truck while still running the hoist, and you can do that. Now, in another video, I mentioned the Allison transmission, so now we're not worried about clutch in, clutch out, PTO engagement, or anything like that. It's on, that's it. So something that's always an issue for pretty much anyone in the waste and refuse industry always seems to be fenders. We found one of the best solutions are the poly minimizer fenders here. These fenders will take an absolute beating. And part of the reason is because they're flexible. That flexibility allows you to drop something wacky on them and they're going to bounce right back. Not to mention, if you do get to the point where you actually break them, replacing them is much less expensive than replacing something that would be a steel or aluminum. I would have no problem taking a baseball bat to this, and I know it's going to bounce back. See that with something that's steel or aluminum. So last but definitely not least, we're going to talk about the rack and pinion type tarp system on this from Pioneer. Now, this system works really well. When you look through it, you can tell it's built heavy duty. It's built to last. We've seen so many tarp systems out there that are just put it together, and if it holds the tarp up, great. This is meant to hold the tarp up and the abuse that you're going to dish out to it. Now, some of the great things with this, obviously heavy gauge steel here. These cylinders are coated. That helps to make sure that you're going to get a long life out of these, because this is extended and it's going to spend most of its life extended. That also allows that adjustability to stay there for you. When you change heights containers, you can do it seamlessly. Same thing with the rack up front there. That is hydraulically adjustable height. So that way, if you've got a taller or shorter container, you can make sure that that is going to work well with that. All in all, it's a very simple system that eliminates issues, but it's built very tough. That way, once again, you've eliminated issues. One of the most frustrating things out there has to be being stuck in the shop because of something with your tarp. So let's start to dive into the installation on this and see how this is different. And one of the ways that isn't necessarily obvious until you really look at it is gussets. Now, we've all been going down the road and we've seen someone with a rack flopping around like it's ready to fall off. You're not going to see that with one of these trucks. Most of the time, even a simple gusset like this is about that big. This isn't going anywhere. And another reason why it isn't going anywhere is because of all the wire that's used in welding, or the rod that's used in welding is rated for structural seismic activity. That means it will put up with the vibrations and all the abuse that you, the roads, or just plain working in the refuse industry is going to dish out. It's meant for the long haul, literally. When you run a fleet of rental trucks, you learn what can and what will go wrong and how to make sure it doesn't go wrong again. That's why we custom make all of our hydraulic lines in-house. That way we can route them correctly. And when I say correctly, it's up and out of the way. We realize that in some cases you may need to use an extra 2 or 3 feet of hose, but that will get it away from something sharp, or it'll make it so it's not going to interfere with servicing another item. So many lifts, if they have a hydraulic line blowout on the main hoist, you have to find a way to lift the hoist without any hydraulic pressure. Ours are run up underneath, up out of the way. So if you happen to have a blowout, you can go to any hydraulic store, get a line made, be back on the road in no time. The same thing can be said for electrical connections. There's no room for butt connectors and shrink wrap. This is the right way to do it. Weather pack connectors. These are a sealed, watertight connector. This makes sure that you're never chasing electrical problems. You're just going to be able to run the truck every day like you need to. There's other pieces that you may not see right off the bat that will also contribute to the longevity, or just ease of maintenance. Sometimes a cross member or a plate may go in the way of an air dryer filter. You may have to disassemble part of the hoist in order to get that air dryer filter just to replace that. A simple job. We take the time to make sure that we either A, install it differently, or we'll move the air dryer to make sure that your maintenance for other items on the trucks isn't affected. Once again, it's less time in the shop, more time out on the road. That's where you're going to experience the premier difference. I want to thank you for watching this video on the Kenworth T880 with the Golfab roll-off bed on it. I hope you found it informative, and I really hope you're able to see how you can experience the premier difference. That being said, we've got a lot more videos to come. I hope you'll tune in for those. As always, we will catch you soon. Stay safe out there.